Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, bienvenue. Well, no matter where you are around the world today, I should just take off my gloves. And it's a Saturday Sports Special. How you all doing? I really, truly hope that before I always do all my shows, positive affirmations, which is, I hope your mental well-being is intact. I hope that you're all, let me bring this down a little. I hope that you're all coping in this third lockdown. There's only so much music we can play. There's only so much that we can do. But I'm hoping that my Saturday shows while we're in lockdown can bring you some joy, can allow you to meet other people who are going through the same thing, and giving you words of wisdom, pearls of wisdoms is what I should say. Me, I'm eating myself away, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it. So anyone else out there who is sports minded and they feel that they can't get off the couch and things are just really that bad, don't beat yourself up. As long as you're still got life, you can make a change. This is what's happening right now. So I'm not going to try and bring us down. I want to bring us up, 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 up. For today, I've got a really, 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 really great guy in the... Hold on. Let me get myself ready because I feel like I need to box myself stupid today. Right? I have an awesome guy in the green room. I can see him ready to come on. I love him. Well, as a boxer, that is. I love his craft. And those who haven't seen the ad of yet, SHAKAN Pitters is in the green room. I'm ready for action. There's no Premier League. Forget about any other sports. Today, it's right here. So, yeah, big ups to you all out there today, joining me, Valerie. And you can see that I'm wiping the sweat off my brow. Got the arms all pumped, but not all of us can be like that. My thought goes out to anyone who has had corona, have people that suffered with corona, and they have folks who are in hospital right now. My thoughts from my family to your family is telling you you're in our prayers. And without further ado, there's a big chat room, folks. Don't be scared to join me. If you any questions you want to ask, this is the time to do it. SHAKAN, when he joins us, he can actually see the comments. So if there's anything you want to ask him, please feel free to do so. Yeah, I can say, good morning, John. I see you. How you all doing, Paul Henry? To others that's in the other chat room, thank you for your wonderful support. Without you guys, I cannot do this. And it's just onwards and upwards, try to bring all voices and minds together. So I'm going to stop talking because I sort of look like after punching myself out, look like I need to go and have a shower, isn't it, really? No, I'm only joking. Okay, who knows who SHAKAN Pitters is? I just played you the video. For those who didn't catch the video, I'm going to do it again just for the fact that I like the music. I know I'm a music head. But who is SHAKAN Pitters? Have you seen him fight? Because I'm telling you, he is the future. He's one of our British futures. I'm going to play this again. Check this guy's punch power. Did you get that? Because guess what? Here is SHAKAN Pitters. How you doing?
I can't hear.
Can you not hear me? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna start shouting.
I can't hear you. No sound.
Okay, hold on. Give it a couple of minutes. Let it calibrate. And we had this good just a while ago, didn't we? Let's see.
Can't hear.
All right, I'm gonna bring you out and bring you back in. Right, why is it always my gremlins? Great. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Awesome.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. After all the testing that we did. Oh, my days. Oh, my God. Okay, I tell you what you do is, can you hear me now? Can you still?
I can't hear you. I can't hear
Right.
you.
Sign out.
Get out.
Cut. Yeah, and then come back in again.
Okay.
That might work. Oh, trust it to be me. That's it. Now, we've already had sound check. We've been sound checking since about 10 o'clock this morning. We've had a good chat. And now that we've gone live, it's like, and looks like I'm having a malfunction as well. So what I'm going to do, while he signs back in, I'm going to take that down. Because my Standing in My Truth thinks it's been funny today. And let's see if I can get him back in again. Okay, let's try for the second time. And I really apologize both for the... Is that better?
Yeah, that's better now.
Oh, yeah! Yeah! Shaq, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you
Appreciate
for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know you've got a busy schedule, and for me, I'm grateful that you didn't get on the plane to Dubai, so I caught you just before you've left. And yeah. Oh, hello, is that your brother Dre?
Yeah, that's my older brother. Yeah.
Dre, hello, Dre. I was going to ask him about you, but I'll come to that later. I promise I won't divulge too much, Dre.
He used to box himself as an amateur.
So that again?
He used to box himself as an amateur. I've got three older brothers who done the boxing.
I'm going to ask you all about them. I did the homework. I'm ready to hear it all. Shakan, as I said, it's really beautiful to have you, and I am like, super excited because I'm a boxing enthusiast, and there's a lot of people that I know that's on my in my circle who are also boxing enthusiasts. So I think they probably are just as excited as I am to have you on today. First and foremost, I'm going to dive straight in. I've been chomping at the bit. I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m, making sure that I had everything about you ready. Shakan, please introduce yourself to the wonderful world of cyber and let them know who you are.
Do you say introduce myself?
Just introduce yourself. Don't need to go to full spiel. Just introduce yourself.
Okay. SHAKAN PITTERS, born and raised Birmingham. Yeah, professional boxer. 15 fights, 14 wins. And yeah, just carrying on, going strong in my career. Yeah,
and you're not going to tell them anymore because here's my questions to you now. Okay. Shakan, you've just told us that you are a boxer, but you didn't start out as a boxer.
No,
okay. Because your father, Colin Pitters, was also a professional boxer himself.
Yeah.
And so I guess it runs in the blood. But before we get down there, so you're from Birmingham.
Yeah.
And I've got some lovely pictures of you right here. How many siblings do you have? How many siblings do you have?
I've got three older brothers and I've got 2 younger sisters. So there's Dre to the left. And
okay.
my older brother Anwar to the right.
Okay. And they were both boxers, were they?
They were both boxers, but as you can see, they also were my protectors, and also now still are my protectors. I'm right in the middle of them.
Are you the baby?
I am the baby, yeah. The better looking one as well.
Wow. Oh, wow. Dre, he says he's the baby. Oh, my God. Excellent. Okay, listen. So your dad and your mother is your wonderful father. Give me a brief synopsis about growing up with your father and your family ethics?
My dad, to be fair, my mum's always been a very strong late woman. My dad's very strong himself, but we had that a very tough upbringing where nothing was ever really given to us. You know, we worked for everything we had from a young age. Like, wasn't born with no silver spoon. My dad carried me and my brothers to the gym from a young age, and I was just that younger brother who couldn't be left at home, basically. So, you know, my dad used to carry me as well there. I was playing football at the time. I wanted to box from a very young age, but he denied me from doing that.
Why? Do you know? Did he say why?
He's never actually ever said why. I remember asking him before, and he just kind of smiled it off. But I think because he knows, you know what it is, him being in boxing himself, although he never took it as serious, he also had injuries through boxing, and he's come to a few of my amateur fights before, and I remember watching back on the amateur fights, and I just see his expression. Like, my dad used to always watch my fights with like his hand over his mouth kind of thing. So
did you ever ask him why?
Now I know why, because it's the same feeling I'd be when, you know, one of my loved ones are in the ring. You know, you can't do anything. You know, it's them in the ring having to
watch you be in that fight.
Because boxing's a dangerous sport.
Yes.
Like, it's very dangerous. You can lose your eye in this. You can get brain damage, sadly. Even though they've got a lot in place now, there's a lot of scary factors about boxing. So I think me being in it myself, like, people quite often ask me, because I've got my daughter, would I want her to do it? And
your answer is?
It's quite very simple, and no. I wouldn't want her to do it at all.
But don't you find, don't you find that it's your mother is the one that, I find it's the women that don't want to find their sons boxing, because they're the ones that, you know, I'm surprised that your dad, you know, knowing that he's a pugilist himself, and both your brothers, you know, felt that way. I've got a bit of statistics about your dad. He was a professional boxer himself during the late 80s and early 90s. His nickname was SHAKAN.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anyone around that time who remembers him. And he operated at middleweight, and he actually fought the WBC world champion, Richie Woodhall.
Yeah.
And took him to put with this, you know, into a points. You know, took him to the points distance. He's also a respected trainer who taught Frankie Gavin. Now, I remember Frankie Gavin. And you've got an uncle Rob. Who's Uncle Rob?
Yeah, my Uncle Rob lives in Tenerife. It's my dad's brother, and he boxed himself mainly in Tenerife area. I still keep in touch with him now as well, but he's just an uncle who's always had that. We've had a very close relationship. We always keep in touch. He'll FaceTime me or call me. But yeah, it was always installed in my family. Like I said, my dad and my Uncle Rob, you know, they led the way in the Pitters boxing with the name.
All right. Okay, so here we are then. You've got this whole history steeped into boxing.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You ended up playing football.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first started playing football? Like, your earliest recollection.
I started about from when I could walk, to be fair. You know, my dad used to always letting me have these little footballs in the house. So I'd like play, you know, kick it from one end of the room to the other end of the room. Then I was fortunate, you know, my brother Dre, who's in the chat now, you know, he guided me a lot through my football career. He done a lot. Even though he had his first job, and I really weren't working at that young age. And as I said, you know, we never had anything given to us, didn't have a silver spoon. I was fortunate when my brother actually went out and he was buying me Adidas Predator boots, you know, and these boots weren't cheap at the time.
Did you just name drop? I'm only joking.
I name drop, man. But no, he was buying me a lot of things in the sense to ensure that I had a good start. He's taking me to my football training at West Brom, and just football practice in general. So, you know, he's giving up a lot of things what he could have been doing in his own childhood.
Right. So it sounds like they made quite a big sacrifice to get you to, you know, make sure that you didn't feel left out. regardless of that you've been the youngest, you know. So there you are, you've started, what, 6 years old? Would you say 6?
Yeah, I started like about 6. I was in my first team, Romulus Boys, at 6 years old. I still remember my first pair of football boots, man. My dad got me. It was like these luminous green and black Diodoras.
Wow.
Yeah, I still remember them, man. Little small shoes, but it was good. It was good starting something. I think it's good for all children in our generation to start something like that, have a focus, whether it's sport or whether it's gymnastics or something. It's good for some, you know, as well as their education, which is obviously the most important, to also have something on the side which is going to train their body, to teach their body the discipline and keep their body
discipline. That's right. Right.
So that's what was in me from a very young age.
From a really early age. In fact, I'm loving the Pitters family, man. Jesus. I'm loving the Pitters.
It was tough being a Pitters back then. I mean, even when I was in school, I'll give you another fun fact. My dad, so my poor mum, all of us as well. My dad, because my dad was boxing at the time and he was studying at university. My dad actually got a master's degree as well.
In what?
In physics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we got a master's. But he used to when he used to revise for exams at uni, the whole house was quiet. We couldn't make a peep. We couldn't have the TV on, none of that. But the moment when he was training for a fight, he'd wake us all up, 4 in the morning. This is 4 in the morning, he'd wake us all up. And we'd all be going for run, like a 3-4 mile run around our area. And many times me and my brothers, we got stopped by police because they were thinking, why are you running at 4 in the morning? But it's what my dad used to have us all doing. 4 in the morning running. So
I saw videos of that.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying in one of your videos that you know, all of us runs, and I was in my head, I was like, what, including mummy? You all got up and run? Holy crap.
My mum was running. My mum would be at the gym sometimes during the sessions, you know, and she was probably holding down about 2 jobs at the time as well, my mum. So I think that's what everyone, people I speak to, like my friends or anyone who I speak to in general, it could even be a stranger, they look and they kind of say that I always got an answer for everything, in the sense where even if something's going bad, because I just eliminate all excuses. I don't really, like, even now, this pandemic, it's doing a lot to a lot of us, but we can sit there and cry about it or get up and do something about it. And I just always try and take the positives out of any situation, whether it's bad or good.
Dre says you all were in the trenches from early. But as I said, Dre, I'm sorry, I've fallen in love with the Pitters family, and I'm hoping that everyone else will by the time I'm finished with you guys. So, you know, you're getting up with your dad. You know, I'm blown away by that, because I didn't know that your dad, you know, had a master's degree. Not that it takes anything away from the family ethics, but then you can still continue. So your dad is still, you know, training to box. Your brothers have gone into boxing. Your uncle's boxing. You're now into football.
Yeah.
Did you not
I can't leave him out. Dre's also got a degree as well. He's got his degree in graphics.
So, Dre, you got a degree as well.
He's probably got the brains.
Yeah, apparently you're the brains, Dre. You got to big up your brother for that one. Yeah.
He's the brains, man. He's the brains.
Right. So listen, you decided to still not do any boxing. You still, who did you get signed to?
Well, for football.
Yeah.
I was at West Bromwich Albion.
What was that like? That's amateur days, so you've gone there from a youth.
Yeah.
They signed you
from must have been about 12 or 6, no, sorry, not that late, about 10, 11, up and towards my early teenage, yeah. So,
what position did you play?
I started as a striker, and then as I was getting taller, because I used to be short, to be fair.
What?
Honestly, yeah. As I was getting taller, they it's like they then made me play like midfield. Then I was on the wing. I don't know why I was on the wing, because in saying that, I was a bit fast then, but I'm not as fast now, like sprinting. But I was on the wing. Then I went to centre back, which I didn't mind that, to be fair.
And that's the position where you are. Did you suffer any injuries or anything like that as a youngster? Because I know, speaking to a lot of other, you know, academy football players, youngsters who have just been let go when they got into their 20s. Injuries played a major factor. Is there anything? Did you have any injuries?
I had little minor ones. I mean, playing football like at five-a-side when I shouldn't have, and with my
Is that
boys.
outside of
Yeah,
the
I had little
academy?
injuries then, but it wasn't anything bad. So I was kind of fortunate with the injuries. I didn't have an injury then, but as I pushed on more in my career, I broke my toe, and I think that kind of I wouldn't say it made me give up playing football, but I just like had other thoughts as well. I remember like watching the what made me more or less get into boxing more. I used to watch Tommy Hearns when I was younger.
Don't you dare stick a pin in that. I'm coming to him. You do not give away my little trade secrets. Don't even. Okay. Right. But sadly, you got cut.
Yeah.
You got cut from, you got cut from them. What was that like? What was because even though you like boxing, you must have enjoyed football for you to want to be at, West Bromwich Albion. Crap team. Sorry, did I just say that? Oh, God. Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm not Albion fan anyway.
Sorry.
But man, again like that, I still remember that to this day. It felt like my world crumbled, to be honest. They invited me and my brother Drager in the room, and because I remember at the time they were releasing people anyway, and they just called upon myself and him. Like people were going, like each week we're going back to training. The faces who used to be there, they weren't there anymore, and you're thinking, okay, it's that kind of time where they're getting rid of people, they're getting rid of players. And then they called me in, and obviously when they call you into the office, you're always nervous anyway. It could be anything. They could be calling you just some paperwork, but you're always thinking, oh, I hope it's not that.
You're expecting the worst, aren't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So when it was that time, man, it just felt like my world shattered. I religiously used to watch Match of the Day. I used to be one of those, watch it religiously. I'd wake up, watch Soccer AM. I'd wake up, I'd watch
I was this morning.
Yeah, see, so I haven't watched that now for years, but I'd wake up, I used to do those things.
Yeah.
And it's like, when that happened, I remember that journey back with my brother, like, because we used to catch a tram there from Birmingham City Centre straight to Wolverhampton is where we used to train. And it was a very down moment. It felt like, honestly, like my dream. That was my dream football.
That's what I was going to ask you. This is what you wanted to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that, when that didn't work, I felt really shattered in life in general. And I was very young, I was very young there. So it was a lot to take on board. And then I think over the years, that's what kind of made me fall out of love with football, because it wasn't the same. I was used to meeting up, going to play against, like, for example, Liverpool, all these other teams. We're on these nice, luxurious coaches. You're kind of halfway thinking you've got your foot in the door a little bit.
Yeah. It's that whole, whoa, I'm ready. This is luxury.
Yeah, so it was actually, you felt important going on there, putting on that shirt. And I was doing things right. Like, there wasn't things I wasn't doing. I was top goal scorer so many seasons running. Even from midfield, defense, I was scoring goals. I was doing my job, accordingly. But obviously, I wasn't what they were looking for.
Yeah.
But it definitely strengthened me. Because I mean, I went through.
Go on. Sorry.
Nah, because I went through, like, I was, as I said, like, it's that early teenage years as well. So it's like, then being, trying to find my foot in a career. I never ever imagined myself working, like, not that I have anything against anyone working. It's a good, you got a job. It's good, by all means. But I always imagine myself doing something which I enjoy for myself, which is going to be lucrative and pay money for me, and, offer me opportunity. So when football didn't work out, it was very much,
it's like your whole world had just been taken from underneath you. And don't you think that galvanized you to be something that you are now today? Because I think without those pitfalls, without having that disappointment, you wouldn't know what disappointment is.
And this is
Does that make sense?
That's it, yeah. Because and that's why now, in any bad situation, I'd always look at the bright side of things, because I could have thrown in the towel and given up then, and for sports ain't for me in general, and I would never have experienced what I've been experiencing in boxing.
Like now.
So it's always important, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's working life, your own personal targets, gym, sports, or whatever it may be, being a parent. It's always important just get back on that horse and keep riding, man, because you never know what's around the corner.
But you're saying getting back on that horse. When did you? So you've gone from you've been cut at 15. You didn't want to work, but there was a massive hiatus before you actually walked into a boxing gym.
Yeah.
What made you actually say, okay, I'm going to pick up the gloves? Tell me the story. What was that space in between? What did you do? If you don't mind sharing it.
No, of course not. So for me, as I said, I've grown up watching a certain boxer, so I won't say his name yet. But I remember watching what really made me make my choice is I was watching when Floyd Mayweather fought Shane Mosley.
Oh yeah,
I remember watching
fight.
Yeah, so
sorry.
At this point, I moved away from watching boxing, from obviously watching it with my family, my dad, and obviously I've grown up watching Tyson and other people. But when I watched that fight again, it made me just fall in love with it again. And I knew there was a local gym by myself in the city centre, so I actually went there to just like kind of go and talk to the coach. But it was like my second attempt. Like I left the first time, I thought, you know what? I've looked in through the glass windows and I thought, I don't know. I'll come back tomorrow, kind of thing. I think I left it about another week or so. I went back there, and then I thought, yeah, I'll
was that
get
Second City? What was that Second City? ABC?
Yeah, Second City. Yeah, it was Second City. So I was working at this point as well. I had a few good jobs. At first I had a commission. See, not a lot of people know this. So I had a commission based on.
Spill the beans, stand in your truth, baby.
Yeah, no, this is the truth. Yeah, like so I had a commission only job. I was one of them annoying door knockers. So I'd knock your door, and I'd try and talk. I wouldn't say sell because it's a good cause.
Yeah, cold calling.
I was cold calling for
Yeah.
the sake of charity. So we do things for the National Deaf Children's Society, cancer research, like Dogs Trust, things like that. We do all these charities. So for me, a British Red Cross as well. So I was passionate about these charities when I was reading, because we had to study upon them, and I was reading them. So when I'd be talking to someone, I was very passionate about these charities. So I knew what I was doing was generally, helping. I wouldn't say massively, but it's helping in its own way. Good. So I believed a lot in that charity, in the charities I was representing. So I was good at that. I was doing that for like about 2 years, and this was the kind of job where if you wasn't getting any sales, because
you're not getting paid.
Yeah, you're not getting paid. So I was good at that. I was good at talk to people and just communicating with people at their doorstep and things. And then I went into another job, just work, a few other jobs anyway. And then I just wasn't feeling the working life again. Not that I have anything against
there's a hole, isn't there? There's that hole.
Yeah, I always had in myself like I'm helping. It's like my last recent job was DHL, so that was doing logistics for the Jaguar cars and the Range Rover cars.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so that was a good job. I enjoyed that. The people were good, honestly. But it was just like more like I'm building these cars, and I always had the thought in my head like I could be training now or doing something in regards to my boxing or for my career, but I'm helping someone else's, achieve their dream.
Right.
Not that they don't deserve it. I'm sure they've worked hard for it, but while my life's young and I'm fresh, I'd want to give it a good shot to work on my own dream and try and accomplish something. So that was the choices I made.
And then you decided to walk back after turning your nose up the first time.
Yeah.
You then walked back to Second City.
I walked back to Second City, yeah.
Who was the trainer at the time down there?
His name's Paddy Farrell. He's still got a gym now. He's still got Second City going strong as a gym.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Has anyone that we know come out of that particular infrastructure? Anyone that we know now?
It's more established amateur gym, but he's got his son himself is a GB boxer representative. His name's Niall Farrell, a very good boxer.
Okay.
I'm sure if this COVID didn't kick in with things, he would have had a good chance of going to the Olympics himself.
Oh,
And
really?
he's a really good boxer. No, I've watched him from young.
Let me sidetrack then. Because of COVID, because I mean, the Olympics is going on this year. So
Yeah,
is it because of the training regime and that you have to box X amount of fights
it's
to qualify?
qualifying and things. Yeah, I wouldn't want to speak too much without knowing the situation. I know that
No,
he had
sure.
I know that he had an injury, which
Ah,
was him, but I'm not too sure now if it's other things he's going for. You know, 'cause I remember last time actually running with him. He was running with me for my last fight as well. Like he's very active. So we was just talking, and he's just like, you know, he's more trying to just get fights back on his belt and get back in the gym, which he's back in the gym punching strong. So
fantastic.
wish him all the best with it as well. But yeah, he's in that gym. He'll do a lot. He'll make a lot of noise.
So you went into that gym, you've gone back into AB City, and you're with Paddy Farrell. That was what, 2012-ish? 2011?
Around that time, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And so you started the amateur boxing. What age did you go into amateur boxing?
22. 22
That's
years
old. No, sorry, I didn't mean that in a really bad way.
It is late considering I was in a boxing
22
gym.
to be doing amateur boxing in people who don't know in boxing terms is old-ish. I'm digging a hole here, but yeah, that was quite, you know, old to get into. But I guess, Paddy, when you went in, did you think you were just going to box amateur or train?
I didn't, to be honest, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to actually, I know that I wanted to start the training. Right. I never went in there and said, look, you know, I'm going to be your world champion straight away, anything like that. I said, you know, it's more or less, he asked me, you know, have I got any boxing experience? I said, yeah, I've been in gyms with my dad. I told my dad, he was well familiar with my dad and things. And then it was just a case of him then saying, because, you know, in saying that, I weren't going to go straight in again. It was another boxer who came out and said, come and meet the coach.
Right,
said,
okay.
I'm sure he'd like to meet you. So I said, okay. I went in and he spoke to me then. But he basically told me to come back the next day. So when he told me that, I thought, okay, now I really got to come back the next day now. Yeah, of course. So it's not that I was scared or anything. Like, I just think I don't know. I just knew it was a new step in my life and I was unsure.
Yeah.
But I put myself out there to do it. I thought, I'm unsure of doing it, but you know what? I'm not, one thing with me, and I'd say to anyone, whatever you want to do in life, just do it because you don't want to live in any regret.
Yeah.
You know, I can happily say I've not lived in any regret because I put myself out there to do what I really want to do in my life. So it's worth being talented. There's so many people I see as well, even around me, my own friends, they're so talented and they won't put themselves out there to, maybe you may fail, maybe you won't fail, but you never.
Do you think it's a fear factor?
Yeah, I believe it is, or it's a fear factor, or even it could be belief in themselves, you know, mindset. No one really likes to. I mean, when I first got into boxing, everyone said the worst things about boxing, and everyone was saying they laughed at the fact I even started boxing. Some people, you know, work colleagues and other people. My family and that was always kind of supportive anyway. But like I knew, it's just like with your own thing, you know, you've got to be the person, the pioneer, to take it on board on your shoulder.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't, no one's going to do it for you. And then when people do see, because naturally, no one's going to see your progression from the ground bottom. When they do see that you're doing well and, you know, there's a lot to what you're doing, then that's when a lot more people get on board and think, hold on, this guy, you've got something here, you can do this. And
and we can work with it. Let's work with it. And it's having to have people that see the potential and not the money, not the fame, but the potential of where this can go.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So that is only you gonna see the clear vision of where you want to be. You know, you can see the short term and your long term goal. Only you as a person. No one else can see that for you unless, you know, they're good at reading cards or whatever it may be. If they can.
Reading cards, where did that come from?
I don't know. People say they believe in all these cards, but
I love it. But you know what? You said that you didn't even know, but you went in and had a really good amateur record.
Yeah.
You know, as an amateur, you won 2 Midland titles, the Birmingham title, the British Boxing Cup gold medal, and you have been the 2-time national ABA semi-finalist in a period of over what, 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years. Yeah. To
You
be
know
honest,
what I mean?
I underachieved. I did underachieve as an amateur. I didn't take it serious at all. I was out, you know, at that age. I was out, like I said, you know, partying with my boys.
Oh yeah, one of them ones, yeah.
One of those ones, yeah. Going to, discovered little boys' holidays. You know, my focus wasn't there. I
Yeah.
didn't have as much focus. I didn't have any. I think it's important with things. People, someone like myself, it's important to have a focus of like. So now, me, professional boxing, my focus has always been my the birth of my little daughter. So my little daughter.
Oh yeah, I think I got a lovely picture of her somewhere. I gotta find it. I'll put her up a bit later.
Yeah. So she's always been my focus, and whenever I'm training, that's the one. Yeah. See, so she'll get involved. She'll be involved in a lot of my training sessions, especially when I've got her and I've got no one to watch her, for example. So she'll come to the gym with me. But that's all the motivation. What's got me to where I am in life in general. Because when I'm running, when I put on the gloves, whatever it is, I do in mind for my daughter. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, 100%.
So here you are, you're amateur, and after a 2 years spell, you kind of left Second City. Why?
Because while I left Second City, there was more established amateur gym, and obviously Eastside was a very reputable gym. I've heard about my trainers there, Soggy, Paul Coonahan, and John Pegg. I heard that, you know, a lot about them and the things they were doing in the pro scene. They had many other boxers coming through then. I know Sam was still doing things then as well, Eggington. So I just felt it was a right team for me to be at, based for my professional boxing career. I couldn't be around. I think I just couldn't be a professional in just an amateur gym. I had to be, you know, professional, and also
you had to make that step up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
was that quite difficult? Did you feel like it was a disloyalty to leave the amateur gym, or were they behind you, knowing that you needed that next leg up?
Yeah, no, it was very much behind me for sure.
I like that.
Yeah, he was behind me. He was respectfully. I didn't go behind his back. We had this conversation.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that.
And this is why even today we've still got a good relationship. You know, he messaged me. In fact, he sponsors me now as well. So
oh, really?
Yeah. So it's been a good journey.
Boxing's a dog eat dog. Dog eat dog. There's hardly, when I speak to various other boxers, there's hardly any loyal. That's wrong. Loyalty is very thin, is what I'm trying to say.
You know what it is? It's a very short career, and it's a rewarding career as well, but you've got to make the right decisions based on your career. You know, I've always have to make the right decisions based on my career, and I believe that's what I've been and done. But I've, you know, where I'm at now, I couldn't be any happier with my team.
I love it. I've got your team right here. Let me play you something.
Just 250 quid plus VAT.
Obviously, we've got a good friendship, and we're like a family as well. I mean, sometimes I'm late for things. They're trying to tell me, like, you know, be somewhere half an hour earlier, and I know he's going to be half an hour later, and I'm still probably late. But he has a fuss and a moan about that.
What was it now? You're a fucking knob. Whoever's watching this is a knob. He's a late bastard. Fucking, what are we? 17 minutes late. Turn around. He came to us as an amateur. 81 kilos as an amateur. And he boxed a couple of years as an amateur. Didn't really take it seriously.
I didn't want to give away too much, but that cracked me up. There was more to it, obviously, but then I realized the copious amount of swearing, and I had to be careful because this actually goes out on the radio.
He's always, you know what, whenever I'm late, I could be
Why
late.
are you always late, Shakan?
He'd be mad at me for that. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's our relationship though, but we've got a good relationship.
He says you're always late. You're always. late. And I'm like, oh my God, Dre's killing himself laughing. That's too much. And I've got a couple of, because you can't see, there's other rooms that I'm in, but saying, hi, Natasha. Hi, Mark. Mark Rowe, he's a beautiful friend of mine. He's a guy that I would love for you to get in touch with us. I'll put him in touch with you because he's like a mentor. And I think you would, you two would gel amazingly together. Because a lot of things that the response I'm actually getting in the chat room is motivation, how motivated they're being motivated by you. And that I'm really chuffed to bits about that. You just can't see that chat room, sorry. But going forward, so you are a devil, as she says, because of your training. But you've now done that 2 spell, and you've now gone to work with, you've now come to 4 years. You've gone with Paul and Louis. Are they brothers? Paul and Louis brothers?
Paul Cunahan, Louis, Paul Cunahan's son.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they took you on.
Yeah,
and they saw the dream. They saw the dream and said, let's do this.
I think, Paul Cunahan seen me a bit around the amateur circuit as well, so we was familiar with each other. But he took me on, and we just we gelled, we clicked, just with everything. The gym had a good buzz. And I just knew it was the right choice for me. Everyone was hungry in that gym, and everyone obviously I think everyone, even in the sense of training, wants to be winners. So I know I'm surrounded myself with a lot of people who want to be winners. They're not just doing the boxing just for the sake of it. So it was the right decision for me.
Not the fame game. It was just it was a serious entity. But then here you are. Sorry, but you were fighting at cruiserweight because you wasn't just a light heavyweight. You were fighting a cruiserweight. I make me understand, or let the public understand. So you've turned pro. You've now decided to leave the second gym, and you went and got your professional license under who? Who was the management at the time?
My manager was and still is today, John Pegg. When I didn't have a promote or anything, but John Pegg has always been my manager for my career. When I started as cruiserweight, I was just finding my feet as a professional. So I think if you look at many, professional boxers, whether heavyweight or in other weights, they would have started at weights where they've ended up different in different weights today, because a lot of them
they fluctuate.
So for me, it was me finding my feet, and it's crazy because the weight that I fight at as a professional now, I'd never made that as an amateur. The lowest never ever made 79 kg as an amateur. I was fighting at 81 kg as an amateur, so I didn't even know that it was possible for my body to make 79.
That's heavier. That's heavier. So, but that's a lot more heavier. But you still went on. You got your two. Do you know what I mean? I want you to take it up from here. You started the training camp. You've gone in. You're still with Paul and with Louis, and you went in. You fought Elvis Dubes.
Yeah.
And you stopped Kent. I think I've got the fight with Kent. Watch this one. That was after you just turned professional, wasn't it? Like, as in a fully fledged professional pro.
Yeah. The funny thing about it as well now, me and Kent Cowplin, his name is, we've sparred many rounds now, and we keep in touch. So I class him as a friend in the fight game as well. It's crazy how boxing works. Same with Deck.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So you're still at cruiserweight. What were you then, 7-0? So you've come straight to professional. You're now coming up. You fought Ken. You've also got Elvis Dubes. Who was Elvis Dubes? Because there was not much of a career of Elvis Dubes, but coming up he did. But you went in and you took him out.
Sorry, what's that? I didn't catch it.
You fought Elvis Dubes as well, didn't you? Don't you dare.
What, fighting at cruiserweight?
At cruiserweight.
It's I don't know. I had my first, I think it was 6 or 7 fights at cruiserweight, but I was just starting. Probably my first 6, but I was just finding, as I said, my feet.
Yeah, we've got you at 7-0 at cruiserweight.
Yeah.
At one point, so here it is, the vacant cruiserweight Midlands area title was vacant, but you decided not to do that. What did you do?
Do what, sorry?
So the vacant cruiserweight title was vacant, and this was your chance to actually, solidify that division, but you chose not to. What did you do?
It's crackling.
Don't crackle.
Yeah, it'll come back. It'll come back.
It will come back. It will come back.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to say it again. You're still cruiserweight.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the cruiserweight division became vacant. Someone vacated that slot in the Midlands. You could have fought for that, but why didn't you? You decided to do something else, because that was a turning point in your career.
I'm trying to catch the words.
Oh, wow. No, this is a bit.
We don't come back. We don't.
Can you hear me now? Just.
Not as much yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, great. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. The cruiserweight division became vacant, and you had the opportunity of fighting that title, but you chose not to. Why?
What, fighting?
That was a defining moment for you.
What, I had a chance to fight for the cruiserweight title, you said?
Yeah, it was vacant.
Yeah.
So what I was told is there was a vacant cruiserweight Midlands area title.
Okay.
You chose not to. You ended up dropping down
to light heavyweight.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because there was an opportunity that came up. It's called the Ultimate Boxer, and it was one that me and my team sat down and we believe it was a no-brainer. Really, it was a good prize fund, and not just the prize fund. It was just also the fact that we knew and believed we would win it as well, of course. And we were just making a weight. Yeah, that was my first time making light heavyweight, so it was.
Was Eddie Hearn an influence on that?
Well, I had my last cruiserweight fight on his show in Birmingham on the American undercard.
With Vargas, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So he did kind of. I mean, at that point, I didn't have any promoter or anything, just a manager. I wouldn't say he was an influencer. He did give me an incentive, like after speaking to him after when he seen my last fight. But it wasn't like something where because he said anything where we were jumping on to do that. But it's just it was an opportunity, as I said, for my career. Me and my team made that choice to,
and so you did.
Do.
And anyone who doesn't know about the Ultimate Boxer, I think it's what series 6 now. And the Ultimate Boxer is the prize fighter type format with the winner wins 3 fights on one night to claim the golden robe and share of the 50,000 prize. Now, when you went into that was an all or nothing deal, Shakan.
Yeah.
Did you really think you could win it?
Yeah, I believed going into it that we could. Every time I'm training in mind, I always believe that I can, win every fight I go into, and train for. So, yeah, it was a no-brainer going in that.
Pitters keeps that piston jab going there.
Continuing to snake it out, feinting in and out with the feet. And look at that for a counter left hand, but that was from Smith, but that was countered immediately by Pitters. High quality boxing in this quarter-final, and a left right combination from SHAKAN Pitters has dumped Sam Smith on the canvas. He's looking over to the corner, he's beaten the count, but now how badly hurt was he by that? And now this one is turning into a shootout. Pitters going down to the body effectively. Sam Smith covering up, but leaving his body exposed. Terrific punch picking from Pitters to put his man on the floor. Oh, and a right uppercut of Sam Smith, and he doesn't know where he is. He's standing upright, but he appears to be out on his feet. Going down to the canvas from a fuselage Smith in real trouble.
That started with the uppercut. The uppercut started that entire barrage. It seemed like
that was the start of it.
That was
the Sam Smith, wasn't it?
That was what, sorry?
That was Sam Smith. That was the quarterfinals with Sam Smith.
Oh yeah, that was the quarterfinals. Yeah, against
right.
Sam
So you've made it to the quarterfinals. 2 more to go. You got Sam Smith. You've taken him out. I don't think Sam Smith ever got beaten up like that.
Is that what? Sorry.
I don't think Sam Smith ever got beaten up like that.
He's never got beaten up like that.
No.
Oh.
Listen.
Yeah.
I told you I'm tired. I was up till 3 o'clock watching videos just so I knew who your opponents were, what their caliber were, which then brings me to boom.
Out Georgie Bacon, and SHAKAN Pitters is through to the final of Ultimate Boxer 2 after a devastating display of accurate punch picking. The 6'6" light heavyweight sunk in some devastating left hooks to the body, and they proved to be the undoing of Georgie Bacon, stopped in the second round.
And ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 13 seconds of round 2, your referee, Mr. Kieran McCann, dispatched of the count of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by count out.
We'll come to your punching power. I'm going to go to your skill. We'll come to your skill set. I just need to get that. I'm still wincing from all the body shots that you keep doing to these guys, right? Yeah. And then, damn.
A snaking left hand underneath from Spellman. Good right hand again from Pitters off the ropes.
And that hurt Spellman. He's backing off now. He's trying to get himself together. And I don't think Pitters realizes that how much Spellman felt that right hand.
Bob Foster and Enzo Macronelli considered towering light heavyweights, but never before have I seen a man 6'6" tipping the scales at less than 175 pounds, and he's used his attributes of height and length and reach to terrific effect tonight. And for my money, well, he's just won Ultimate Boxer 2. A terrific performance in the final. The body language of the two fighters tells it all.
And after 3 rounds of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, we turn to the judges' scorecards. Judge Kieran McCann scored the contest 26-30. Lee Cook scored the contest 20.
And you went on to win Ultimate Boxer. Unbelievable. Unbelievable fight. I watched all 3 of them, but I could only put X amount of snippets up so people could see it. Oh, I lost him. Hopefully he'll jump back in. SHAKAN literally took... Oh, there he is. There he is.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm back.
Yeah, I got you. Just about can see you. Yeah. You're there, but no actual photo.
Do you see me now?
Yeah, no, I can't see you, but I know you can hear me, so I'm going to still give people what's going on. SHAKAN, you went on to win the Ultimate Boxer 2, Series 2.
Yeah.
Grueling round. You may have to go back out, come back, because there's no actual, your visual has gone completely. So I can hear you. But
you can't hear me?
I can hear you, but your screen is actually blank. So you may have to
go out.
jump out.
No problem.
And jump back in again. I'll explain to everybody right there. SHAKAN then decided to change. You know, went against all the odds. Kate dropped a weight down, light heavyweight, gambled everything, and decided to, let's see, he's just jumped back in. He's back in the green room. Please let me see you, SHAKAN. Please let me see you. I don't know what you did in that time. Right, now there's another box, but your photo is definitely gone. Definitely not there. Let's hopefully you join me back. Hey! Oh, God. He's got internet issues. Could you all get off the line, please? Anyway, as you can see, SHAKAN won. There it is. There he is. There it is.
You see me
Can you
now?
hear the noises? Yeah. Yeah. The joys of going live. I need to stop going live.
It happens. It happens.
Listen, it's nothing. It's to me as I'm not BBC. I'm not blah blah. I am just myself, and I'm just glad that you can get back in. That's the main thing. And hope the audience is still, and the audience is still intact. Right, you won. UB2.
Yeah.
That's a gamble, Shakan.
It is. It's life's a gamble, you know. Everything's a gamble, but if you've got the belief and mindset, then it doesn't really become that, you know. It becomes something more like where you throw all the odds in your own favor by certain things you do, you train in your mindset and all that. So I think it was definitely a gamble. Life, like I said, everything is a gamble in life. You just have
How much training did you do in between? Because the division that you gone into, it's Joshua Boazzi.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You dropped into a whole different division. How much training? Because if you're cruiserweight, you still have to box down at light heavyweight before you could go into. So as I said, to me, watching everything, that was a major gamble.
Yeah. And like I said, every boxer in any division would have made sacrifices or took chances.
Love it.
Took a gamble.
Here's your rope.
That's the rope.
You decide to sign, literally after that fight, you signed a long-term promotional agreement with Hennessy Sport.
Thank you very much. Channel 5 boxing.
Hennessy Sport is big.
Yeah, it's a really big platform to be on. I think he more or less came along because I fought Dex Spelman again for the English title.
I was just about to come back to him. Yeah, that was a brutal fight.
Yeah, it was a good, you know what it was for me? Everyone in boxing needs that learning fight. And for me, I had 2 6-rounders. Well, 1 6-rounder because I stopped my opponent in the first round of my first 6-rounder. And then the other one, I went the distance. So I had one 6-rounder really. Then I went straight into a 10-round fight. And I'm not saying many other boxers haven't done it, but many other people on their second year as a pro wouldn't have probably just jumped straight away in that kind of fight.
Got you.
10-round fight for a title. Again, the opportunity came up for myself and my team. We took it with both hands, you know. Fair play to Deck because I was a voluntary mandatory, so they actually called us out on it and said, look, you know, they'll have me for his first English title defense, and we took it with both hands for sure.
Listen, I'm telling you did, because you fought Spelman the first time round. And that was in UB2, and then the opportunity came back for you to fight him again. Was that for the vacant British light heavyweight title?
No, he was the English champion at the time then.
Okay.
But I just thought they believed that basically because there's not much you can take out a 3-round format, to be honest, because as a pro and as himself, you know, by then he was more experienced in the round, so I think he believed, you know, him and his team, that with the round experience on their belt, that they get him in the later rounds, or so may it be. But
basically they took you for granted. Here's why.
Shakan immediately takes control, beating his opponent with fast combinations. The tide then turns. As Pitters is hurt, Spelman comes back with powerful hooks. The crowd at the famous York Hall erupts as the fight turns into an end-to-end war. After sustaining the best Spelman has to offer, Shakan takes over and appears to outbox Spelman in the second half of the fight. He captures his first boxing title, and with it, the respect and recognition of the boxing fans. The fight was
beautiful. What did you do to the man's face? Sorry, I need to be professional. I'm being professional. That was beautiful. That was very beautiful, but brutal. I mean, you guys went toe to toe, all the full 10-rounder. So
Thank you, man.
Kudos to you.
Deck's a very tough opponent, you know.
I was just about to say,
yeah. So
Spellman is not a meat, you know, he is, oh my God, the man, it's like you needed to be able to be on the back foot, but be able to throw your jab at all times, because when he come, he, you know, he had such a good defense as well. So even when you were hitting him with body shots, you know, I need to stop because now I'm getting into like my full boxing mode here. So, but you know, it was like hit or not be hit, because he knew that if he threw those you know, those right hooks, because he's not orthodox. And that's what I found anyway with that fight. So it was really interesting watching the first fight and then watching you win the second. It pleasing on the eye. And to me, that's when I thought a star's born here. That is what I personally thought at that fight there and then. Which then
a totally different fight from the, you know, the first and the second one. So the three round format is you know, suited different and whatever for the people. I mean, it suited me whatever format it was, to be honest. But yeah, I knew he probably just thought if he put some pressure on me, then without me of doing the 10-rounder, you know, they probably thought, yeah, you know, we'll get to him later on, but it wasn't meant to be. But credit to Deck, is, like I said, me and him's good friends in the sport right now today as well, and he's a good boxer.
Spellman, that was it.
Yeah.
Now the world is now your oyster. What was the next challenge? Who came up in front of you?
Chad Sogden, I believe.
Yeah, and Chad is not easy.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a Wasn't he an ex-US? Was he the ex-UFC boxer or the?
He was I think he's a kickboxing world champion.
Kickboxer, yeah.
Yeah.
He was an ex-kickboxer, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was an ex-kickboxer making the transition to boxing. So again, you know, himself, you know, tough opponent. I think at the time I thought he only had the one loss on his record and the one draw obviously against Craig. And yeah, he's a tough opponent, and I just done what I had to do to get the win.
You did do what you had to do. How many rounds did that go?
Went 12 rounds.
It went the full. That is, I was going to say, the full 12 rounds. I tried to get snippets of that particular fight, and for some reason, I'm going to hate myself for saying this, the damn thing, and I'm swearing on telly, it would not even bloody download. So I've got it. Anybody wants to know that fight, please check out Chad Sugden along with SHAKAN Pitters. It is a bad boy fight. That was when you then won
British title,
the British lightweight heavyweight title. I need to put some noise. Really, truly, I should need to put some noises, right? Because I'm the one that's here clapping like a bloody seal. But you know what I mean? I'm getting all excited about it because I know, you know, I just know it. So I want you to tell. I want you to tell everybody else. You fought Chad Sugden. You now became the British lightweight champion. But the thing is, when you fought those fights, you were fighting without a massive major audience. How was that? Because you won that title, just that's horrible. You want the world to see that achievement, and it just didn't get, you know, the full crowd capacity. How was that for you?
Well, COVID's to blame for that. It's a lot of things, but I just had to, again, you know, I had to put any negative thought behind and just do. I knew I had a job to do, so I just had to go and get the job done. I knew that my family and friends and everyone was watching, you know, on the TV. So I know that they're there with me in spirit anyway. But it's a weird atmosphere, as I said. We had it in the Channel 5 TV studios. So it's like, it's all pitch black more or less in there, apart from the strobe lighting. Yeah. And, you know, I'm just there with my team. But yeah, it wasn't anything different for me, to be fair. I like my family and friends obviously at the fights. I like crowds there, you know, it's good to feed off the crowd's energy, but in this time now, I'm not gonna complain or whine about any fight behind closed doors, because there's a lot of fighters now who ain't got promotion team. Now I've got the back in the Channel 5, I've got the back in the Mick Hennessy, and there's a lot of people who ain't got that, so they can't afford to even box. So a lot of people I know as well, boxers, had to, you know, unfortunately go back into work. So
and that's through the whole COVID, because there's that's their livelihood being taken from them. Could
Exactly.
you tell me, before I go on to the last bit of the, where you are and at in your career and what you do, can you give an insight to people what effect it can have on your mental well-being? Knowing that this is your life, this is what you do, and if you weren't in that position, what do you think things would be like? Or do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I think for a lot of people, it really can, unless if you stay down on the negative sides of this, it's going to really grip you and keep you down.
Yeah.
Myself, I've experienced it right now. I was tested positive last week with COVID.
So sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so, but it's life, these things happen, and I was tested positive for it as well, and it's a thing where it's horrible. It had me, I had fever. I had I lost my taste. Even now, I still can't. I haven't got my full taste back.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it does exactly what it says on the tin. Honestly, some people are fortunate not to actually be affected. But like myself, it really did have me in bed. I was bedbound for like about 5 days, straight in bed, like literally couldn't move.
Sweating, aching.
Yeah. I lost
Can't
my
smell. Headaches.
I had a headache for about a day, to be honest, but it was crazy because 1 minute I'd feel good, the next minute I'd feel really bad again, and I'd have to it's like my body, like I'd be sitting out, relaxing, lounging, watching TV, and then my body automatically tells me like it could be 4 o'clock in the afternoon that like I need to go back to bed because I weren't feeling very well. So obviously spoke to my mom and everyone and that, and the old Jamaican remedy, which
the honey, look, the ginger, the honey, the garlic.
I got the garlic, the ginger, the honey, the turmeric, everything down me, man. And I think over the days that's allowed me to feel a bit better. I've had my appetite back a bit, but I've got no problem sharing that with everyone. At the end of the day, this is real life. Someone like myself, I've gone through it, and I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry for myself. I'm going to let my body do its full recovery and then hopefully be back in the gym, training for a big year this year, because that's my plans regardless, But it's important. We can't let these things get us down. Like I've had knockbacks in my life, bigger than this, where dreams to me got shattered and, family losses and things like that. So I weren't going to let, anything can't deter me. I just feel I'm at that stage in my life where not much generally can deter me, the loss.
What was the effect on your family? I mean, you've got a young daughter, you've got your wonderful missus. Did they have to isolate? What was that like?
Yeah, so my girlfriend, me and my girlfriend's got COVID.
Oh wow!
We're both going through it together right now. But my child's mom, obviously, my child's fine. It's just been hard. I've not been able to see my obviously my daughter or my family now because of this. Because I'm normally
isolation.
Yes, I've got isolation, and I've got until Tuesday now. So I've still got a couple more days indoors doing nothing much, and I've got the NHS tracking team nosing my phone, telling me about I could have volunteers to get my shopping and all this. But
basically,
luckily,
are they tracking you?
I don't know if they're more or less tracking me, but they are. Well, they are. Yeah, they are in the sense, because they're asking me. They keep it. The good thing about our government with this, to be fair, they are keeping on top of, like, asking me a lot of questions. They are supportive, but I don't know. Ultimately, you wouldn't want someone going out there getting your own shopping with you. But luckily, because of the Christmas and New Year period, we already done a big shop before then. So
yeah,
I'm lucky enough to, I've got food and things, in this house to last us till Tuesday anyway. So it's all good.
So I guess at least you've got your partner to go through that with, which I'm so sorry. Both you and your partner, I really, really am sorry. And I'm really glad that you're both pulling through and getting better.
Thank you. Look, we're grateful at the end of the day, because there's people with this who's had this, who's not seen the next day. So we're just grateful every day, regardless, waking up.
Absolutely. What would you say again? I'm gonna throw that question one more time at you. Yeah. Well-being. How do you hang on to your well-being?
just staying positive, remaining positive in anything. I mean, it's easy me saying it, but
Exactly.
I always take the positives out of any situation. Like even now in this time, I remember having this conversation. This is a really good time for people building, for anyone who wants to try something new, and also a chance for everyone to actually save. I don't see why people should be spending in this time as well. So it's a good time to actually think now what you want to achieve, what you want to do with this time we've got to ourselves. It's no point wasting time away just playing the Xbox and PlayStation every day without any thought of what you want to try and plan for.
Sorry, did I just snore? Oh, sorry.
I'm not a big gamer anyway, but not to have anything against anyone who likes to do that. You like to do whatever you do to keep your mental health intact. I'm not knocking that. That's good, but in this time, you got to think of the important things, what we can do, and the things we can do: save our money. Second things we could do is power our goals, whatever we feel that what it may be something you studied at a university or college. You may be thinking to want to go into university or college. You may be thinking to want to start your fitness courses and things like that. These are the times right now to start all those things. Someone may be inspired by your own podcasts and think any of the viewers right now may feel like I actually want to get into doing something like that.
That's what happened to me.
Exactly, and look how far you're going to take it to new heights. By next year, this time, I'm sure you probably would have had so many other people on there and other people.
I hope so.
I believe so. You've got the personality for it.
Thank you.
So it's good. You would never have known unless you put yourself out there for the first time.
Yeah.
So that's my point. This is the time to try, and if it doesn't work, who cares? What's the worst that's going to happen?
That can happen.
You move on to something else. That's all it is. So I think these are things in this time people should be focusing on and doing. And we can always check on our family. I think it's important to stay close to your family, by phone call or whatever it may be. But yeah, focus on your goals, shine your energy on your goals.
Beautiful. Shaq, in your spare time, even without the COVID, I think this is before COVID probably kicked in, you still keep into, as you mentioned, things about keeping with your family, and I'm going to bring you right back to box before we come to the the full end of everything, because I don't know if I hope you've enjoyed us just talking about you. Do you know what I mean? I was going to ask you the question, which is this guy,
Craig.
Yeah. Now I'm not putting up the fight. I'm not.
That's so good.
I'm not putting the fight.
It is what it is. I
know.
Yeah, Craig, you know what? Go on, sorry.
Bad boy fight. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bad boy fight.
Me and Craig
it's downstairs on my box.
Oh, you watched it, yeah?
Are you? You know what? I should just cut off the damn thing right now. You just asked me, did I watch it? No, mate. It was on my screen. People who know me, and let me bring my tone of voice back down again. Anyone who knows me, and through which I think they probably think I'm damn annoying. When there's a fight on, and I know you're not supposed to stream it or whatever, I will then get it, and then I'll put, I'll video little clips, and then I'll put it early hours of the morning. So for those who can't watch it, or people who forget that fight is on, then I will just sort of like hint that SHAKAN Pitters is fighting, or Luke Campbell's fighting, or do you know what I mean? I'm sure I get on people's nerves about it. Me being I do come across a lot of people. I come up against a lot of, and I know, God, guys, forgive me for saying this, but I know I'm female. What the hell do I know? So I do get a lot of patronizing, which is, what is she saying? Or, am I looking kudos? And it isn't. It is my first love. It's my passion, along with football, along with F1. So I'm always going to show the sports that I like. It's not for show. So yes, in answer to did I watch it? It was on my page. Even though it was on Channel 5, I put the fights and I was telling everyone, you need to watch this.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Those who again don't know, SHAKAN, you almost was there. You lost to Craig Richards, and you guys gave a very good build up, giving it all the trash talk before the fight.
Yeah.
What did you take away from that fight? And anyone who hasn't watched it, I'm not putting it up. You need to go. It's actually on YouTube. the Craig
Yeah,
Richards fight versus SHAKAN Pitters.
this is boxing, as I say. You know, we put ourselves out there. We take risks each fight, and it's what it is. I've got no shame in whatever
You
happened.
shouldn't.
In my career or anything, you know. At the end of the day, people, and what I've learned so much as well as I've got a good fan base. I've got good support and things.
Yeah.
But the thing is about boxing fans, and this is not to have a dig at any one individual, but boxing fans in general, they're not loyal like you football fans. You know that if anything
No, they're not.
Anything goes, everything's going good in boxing. Everybody wants to jump on board. Everyone wants to be there, but I must say, I've had so much messages in the boxing community, positive messages in regards to the type of fight it was. It was a good fight.
Yes, it was.
And the view numbers for that fight was very high.
Very, very. I was so glad it was on Channel 5.
Yeah,
so glad.
It was good. But as I say, you know, leading back up to the build-up and things like that, of course, you know, I'm wanting to win, Craig's wanting to win. There's going to be needle in boxing. That's just the sport. But it was never anything personal. I've known Craig, you know, for quite a while. I've seen him around the boxing circuit. I remember walking around in the O2 arena, just in general, after one of Dale's fights, I think it was. So we were just there walking around, getting a bit of joke. We went to the after bit and things. So it was never personal, you know. Me and him,
I like that.
Me and him knew that, like, we've got no hatred there. If we see each other now, we'd say
the banter was good though.
Yeah, of course, you know what I mean. It's gonna be that because I'm competitive and he's competitive. So it was always gonna be like that. Like it was
because it wasn't the first time because you were supposed to fight him before, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
and
meant
he
to fight
pulled
him.
out. Sorry?
Yeah, I was meant to fight him in December originally.
That's right.
There was a lot of back and forth with him and their team, never came through. And then obviously he was meant to fight in March, and he pulled out of that. I believe he had a COVID or some injury himself.
Yeah, I remember you lot bantered a bit about that, but I'm not going to say if he didn't have COVID. And then he said, "Oh, but your team's got COVID. Is that why you're not fighting me?" And blah. And I was like, "Brother, please."
And I mean, you know, it's just the competitive nature. Look, if we was to, I'm sure we'll meet again. And this is nothing personal towards him. I'd love the rematch. I'd love to meet him again.
That was my next question.
I'm sure we will meet further down the line, but you know, we keep it respectful as we always have before the fight. Anyway, not in the public eye, but before the fight in general. You know, we knew what it was ourselves, and it was nothing never personal. Keep it respectful, and then you know, until we fight again, we put that, you know, that feeling aside.
That's right.
It'd be what it is again, innit? It's just what it is.
So when you signed the contract the first time, was there any way that a rematch was added into the clause? I'm now being nosy.
No, it wasn't, because he was my mandatory, so there was never like an actual rematch clause involved in it. So the only way the fight can happen, look, I'd happily won it. Of course, I'd want it for my next fight if I can.
Yeah.
But understandably, probably may want to press on. I don't know. I can still press on as well. It's not
right.
It's not hindering me back much either. Like, I can still press on as well. But I'd love to revenge that loss, of course.
I'd like to see that. I really like to see that.
I was winning that fight, and on two of the official judges' scorecards, I was.
You were. You were
up by 3 rounds by 1 and 2 on the other. As I look back, so I was winning the fight. But again, like I said, I'm not going to dwell on what could have and should have. He won fair square, and I'd love to get it back. You know what I mean? But I congratulated him, and until we meet again, it's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I made notes about that fight because I was thinking, and you know, I think I might still have the footage of. I think I was pretending I was a commentator for the night, and I remember just saying, "Oh my God, you've got this, you've got this." And I remember watching another feed, and I had Master Knowledge on another feed, and it was going, "No, he's gonna, you know, Richard has got this, Richard." But you were winning the rounds because you kept that distance, and you were able to counteract his punches. And you know, the next thing you know, it was a flush, and then you could hear me there and goes, "Oh, okay then." Thanks, Shakan. Okay, rematch. I was going rematch,
Yeah.
rematch. And you know, I saw you with your interview a few days after, and you know, you were saying there's little things, there's just little things, and I believe that most fighters do. You know, sometimes there's little mistakes that you make at that moment, which you could have been making it through the whole fight, and you just don't get caught.
Yeah.
And then it's when it does that bit does happen. That's it. But I think the rematch would be amazing. I'm going to show you the rankings at the moment for the heavyweight, light heavyweight. Do forgive me. And you know, we just saw Lyndon Arthur the other day beat Anthony Yard. I don't know if you're the type of guy that do speak about other boxers and stuff like that, but you know, in Britain we have Anthony Yard is in your division. You've also got Lyndon Arthur, who just beat, you know, Anthony Yard the other day, and you've also got Joshua Buatsi. Are those any of the guys that you would face in the UK before going for a unified? Because Artur Bertabev is the champion in IBF, WBC, WBA. You know, who long term do you want to fight? Who's the next on the agenda? Who's been put in front of you?
Whoever makes sense for me on my journey. I mean, I'm not one to sit here and, you know, gun for any fighter and kind of say, you know, I want that fighter, or, you know,
like some fighters do. They call people out.
I've never done that. I think, you know, if you work, I don't believe in that anyway, because like if you're doing things right in your own career, these fights will come ahead, and you know you're only going to keep going up and elevating. So I don't believe letting my mouth, in a sense, talk my fight up. You know,
you let your fight do the talking.
Yeah. So I just I'll leave my fighting to do it. I've got my team there to obviously sit down, and that's their role on there. But any fight which is gonna make my career go up in the right direction, then they're the fights I want for me to push on in my career. Like, it's nothing against any fighter who I do fight. I've got nothing, like I said, against Craig. I've got nothing against Chad. I got nothing against any fighter in Britain. At the end of the day, they're all pushing for the same beliefs and dreams what I am. And we're just, you know, we're in the same thing to try.
I think it's very exciting. It's
exciting.
That division is exciting. Come on. I'm like this.
It's a very exciting division. And
we got 4 British. I think we've got 5 actually. But 4 prominent. Did I just do that? I got 4 prominent British light heavyweight boxers. Do you know what I'm saying? So the future is really beautiful, if allowed in COVID for 2021 going into 2022, if things plan out properly for you guys. What I'm going to ask you, who's Shaq Attack?
Shaq Attack. What, as in, like, it's not me. I mean,
did I not know here that you've created a sauce?
Yeah, a sauce. Yeah, a sauce.
Why did you act like you didn't know what I'm talking about? So we're stepping away from your boxing. We've already dealt with Craig. I purposely wanted to not go into about the last fight, which, as I said, everyone needs to watch that fight themselves. I'm now coming back to Shakan, who he is right now, where he's at. Shaq Attack. What's that?
It's a hot sauce, which over lockdown I got experimenting, because I was doing a lot of cooking anyway. I like to cook in my spare time, take me away from boxing.
Right.
So I'll just try new things, and it was something which it came up. It was I remember doing a lot of barbecue chicken on the grill, and then I put it on, and it was just something that gelled with it, and it stuck with me, the ingredients, and it's something where we waiting for approval to put it out ourselves.
Oh, it's not on the shelf yet. Is it going to be on the shelf then?
Hopefully, we're hoping to, yeah, for sure. So people buy that.
Have you had people that's tested it? So you've had a trial run, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. So
and the feedback has been promising.
Yeah, so it's something where it's.
My lips are, I'm salivating. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's looking very promising. So I'd have to get you a bottle to you as well. You're not vegan, are you?
No.
Good.
Just send me my pepper sauce.
Like it.
Yeah, just send me my pepper sauce. Okay. As a matter of fact, you can send it before it even hits the shelf, so I can come back on the show and go, just like my Tottenham mug.
You're Tottenham fan.
Yeah. Just like my Tottenham, and go, Yeah, okay. I've
I
got
got
my Shaq attack. So, as anyone didn't understand, Shaq is in the process of creating. I don't know if I was supposed to tell anyone that, but sorry,
no,
Shaq.
it's fine, yeah. It's out there. It's out there. Yeah. So,
Okay, good.
mm.
Shaq has created a pepper sauce that will rival reggae sauce.
Reggae sauce for sure. It's going to
Yeah,
be at all the carnivals, all your carnivals. Yeah, they're going to be there when they're
if we
back.
can go to bloody carnival. You know?
Every
If we could go to any carnivals, but it will
everyone's gonna
definitely
have a
rival.
platform.
It will rival the not so hot reggae sauce. I think we need some rivalry here. Do you know what I mean? Something fresh. I'm ready to taste that. So please look out for the Shack Attack sauce. Hopefully that will come into us sometime in 2021. And I'll be bringing it onto the show to say, do you remember Shakan Pitters I had on the show? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Shaq, this brings me down to I know you say you don't watch football very much anymore, because I know you and I had a good discussion and I wanted to say who your football team was, but you said you don't follow it. But you do still keep in touch with football, because let me play this.
Here at Moor Lane, a place where I used to play football myself as well when I was younger. I used to play for a team called Romulus, but there's a team who I sponsor here called Power FC. It's a Sunday League team, consists of many of my friends, my mates. I've got that tough game, but they're good side, so I'm sure they come through. So this is where we're here now. It's part of my Sunday regime, away from boxing. This is as close as I get back to football as I can do, really, just back and giving back to Power and supporting them as they support me.
I love that.
Yeah.
So even though you got hurt from football and you walked away from it, you still decided to give back into the community.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
love that.
It's a Sunday League team called Power FC. It's mainly how it came about. It was a lot of my friends that got the passion to play football. A lot of them are good footballers as well, and I could see a lot of them, being able themselves even to push on and do well in football. But I just feel it was something good. In the area of Birmingham where we are, you can quite easily make silly choices to be either into any gang or make any wrong decision. But I believe what they've done as a community, they got themselves together to do something they all love, and they created their own football team. And Power FC, it was something that it was a no-brainer for me. I had to support that, and it's something where I go to the games. They come to my fights when the crowds were allowed. I'm in the process of sorting them out some tracksuits for their new season as well. So we're always just supporting one another in each of our fields, what we do. So
do they need any, apart from you supporting this team, is there anyone you would like to put that out there while we're talking, that would love to hear about Power FC, what you were doing, and probably have some input, like sponsorship? Is that what they're looking for?
It's crackled again.
Oh no, don't do that. Could you all stop watching reruns of something?
I know.
Don't go. We're near the end as well. Oh my god.
It's a good. But the thing is, Power, they're a good. They inspire me as well. They inspire me with what they create. They started not from much themselves, and now they're in the they're highest in their division, in their
division.
Yeah. So it's something where they've, as I said, started work their way up from building a new squad, getting to know different people. I mean, although a lot of them are familiar faces, it's also getting to build the chemistry like any football team. For what they're doing and what they have done, and what they've achieved, the cups they've won, and how far they've gone. They've came themselves now. The progress has been really good. So I'm extremely proud of a lot of players there. Yeah.
I'm going to come back to this photo of you and your daughter. Now, I know for a reason that you have different charities that you wrote, Ain't Nothing Better Than a Daddy-Daughter Relationship. And it was good being called upon to do some rounds to raise money for kids with autism. And why autism, Shakan?
Still ain't come back yet.
Oh no, don't.
He'll be back.
Oh, you're back.
We're back
So
now.
as I was just, as I was saying, I'm bringing this photo back, which I love. I mean, your daughters are much older now, but yeah, and I'll put that up a bit later. But within your boxing fraternity, you do go around still raising money and awareness. And why did you choose autism, or did someone just ask you? I hope that's not too deep to ask that question. But why that particular charity?
It's something where a lot of people don't have certain choices in life themselves. You know, you're born a certain way, and it doesn't make you any different from myself or any other human being. It doesn't make any human being feel like, you know, no human being should feel like they're better than another human being because of their circumstance or how they are. They look the way they are, their weight, their color. So there's no diversity in anything. So I just think it's good to help. You know, any charity is good to help, but particularly like themselves, because they haven't had certain choices. But it's close to home because I've grown around certain people like that. I've got family members as well, you know, born into that like that as well. So it's good to, you know, support that charity
and raise awareness towards it. I'm glad that you've, you know, I'm glad that you were able to, because once I saw that, I found that, you know, quite amazing.
Yeah,
more people, and then I literally, and this made me laugh, and I couldn't help myself showing it. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh yeah, I know the guy at the back thought about.
You were sorry about the spud head in the back. I hope that guy did not go onto your page and heard you call him the spud.
Yeah, it's all banter, man. It's all banter. You know what? If you don't if you don't enjoy life with it anyway, bantering or whatever, then it's
yeah. What fight was this? Where was this?
I was watching. That was at what was the place called? It was in London. I watched Javante Davis fight Liam. Is it Liam? Was it
Liam
Liam
no,
Davis?
It was. Yeah. Oh, you went to the fight?
Yeah, I went there. I was there. Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Tank fan.
Yeah, Tank's good.
Tank is fine. I mean, okay, all right. Before I end this, let's just talk about the Luke Campbell fight the other day with Ryan Garcia. What was your take on that?
I think Luke Campbell done very well.
So do I.
You know, Ryan Garcia is a good fighter. Whether people want to call him an internet boxer or Instagram, but whatever they call him.
No, he's not.
He's fast. He's powerful. Yeah. He looks strong at that weight. I think Luke Campbell done well. I respect him as a fighter. He's achieved a lot in the amateurs and as a professional.
Yeah.
And he should be proud of his achievements. You know.
I sent him a message. I told him that. I said, look, listen, no one has ever put Ryan Garcia on his backside. Yeah, no one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But
so
the thing is, the thing is, I understand. Like, I got plenty of them messages in the sense, and not to compare. I had plenty of them messages after my loss, and you'll never see that picture because you're just thinking about the loss, what you've got in your. I mean, for me anyway, being my first loss, all I was thinking about was the loss. But it is important, and I do realize that. You know, I've got good people. I'm sure he's got good people around him as well, a good stable. Yeah. And he's got plenty more fighting in him. I think I've seen a recent interview where he's not, you know, he ain't retiring, so it's good. I don't see why he should retire.
Oh, God, I hope he doesn't.
No, he's not. But he's achieved a lot. I mean, he's even got his own gym now.
Gym, yeah, he has. Yeah, he's got Anthony Kroll and all those guys behind him. Exactly. And you know, Anthony Kroll was one of my favorite fighters as well. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
You know, boxing for him as well, it's changed his life, and it's continued to change his life right now. So he's got a lot to feel proud and be proud about. Although he ain't gonna think like that probably straight away, but I'm sure he knows in himself that, you know, he's done a lot.
Yeah. Twitter was quite good. There was a lot of kind people on Twitter, you know, literally saying you've made us proud. Because I think when he came away from it, he just said, God, you know, when you hear someone goes, oh, God, I hope I made you proud, you know, from the depth that it's gnawing away in the pit of his stomach, like, oh my God, you know, oh my God. I mean, you get what I'm saying. And even though I'm not a boxer, as a competitive person, you just, I don't know if I'm right. It's like, I know I could have done better. I don't think I gave a good account of myself, when in fact you did give a good account of yourself. It was just not your time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the thing in boxing, because you've got a lot of it's a lot of pride and ego on the line. Of course, it's, you know, it's not like in football. You can always say, "Well, the defense wasn't on their game. That right winger wasn't on this game." Ultimately, win or lose or draw, the responsibility is always on yourself as the fighter. And if anything was wrong in a fight, it's down to the fighter in the team, but mainly the fighter in the ring to change it. You know, so it's something where I'm sure, you know, himself, he'll come back stronger from it. Myself, I already know what I've got to do as well with mine, and I know I will come back stronger from it as well.
I know you will. I know you will.
They're life learning lessons, but it's important as well, like not to shy away or hide away, even when things like this does happen. You know, you just gotta hold your head up and move on.
That's why I thank you, because when you agreed to come on the show, I thought, oh my God, he probably won't feel that he wanted to face the world, and this is just not it right now. But I am honestly and truly grateful. As I said, there's so much I could show. You know, folks, if you haven't had the chance to, this is SHAKAN Pitters on the Standing in My Truth show. You know, there's so much this guy has done. You also said it was great to be back in the ring, part of your Hennessy team. Is there anybody that you want to send out any affirmations to? You know, just thank you.
Just everyone who's following my journey. You know, when I did take the loss, and I'm very open about it, you know, it was a very bitter pill to swallow. But you know, I've got good family and friends around me who, you know, stuck by me. And they you know, they made me realize myself why it is important. Not that I was ever going to obviously stop and it was going to define me, but why it's important to get back and, you know, on my feet and do things. And of course, in this time, COVID does not help. Trust me, like where we can't do anything, you can't visit friends. You know, certain other gyms ain't open. I mean, for myself, obviously, gym is open, but things wasn't. Things ain't open to the public, so of course it's hard to deal with these factors, with what's going on now, and now myself contracting COVID as well. It's not been easy, but again, I always remain the positives about it. The loss to me is going to be a lesson, which I won't want to obviously feel this again. I know the kind of fighter I'm going to come back as, and with this COVID right now, I'm grateful and thankful for. Just going to obviously push on, and yourself, I'm grateful for you having me on here, and you know, showing interest in my career. And that's all I can do is look at the positives of everything. I'm just grateful that I'm still here, I'm relevant, I'm still being spoken about. And,
oh, you're relevant.
And I'm healthy, so.
Yes, you're obviously relevant. Shaq, thank you to Dre and your brothers. I don't know what happened to the chat room. I think after a while it all dropped out. You know, to everyone at Shaq can't see the chat room, so there's a copious amount of messages. So thank you to everyone in the chat room. I'm sure Shaq wants to say the same thing to everybody that's all. I think we're also on Mixcloud. If you want to pick this show up again, you can hear it on Injection Radio next Saturday for anyone who's just picking up the back end of the show. But Shaq, I want to thank you for that's terrible. I don't like shortening people's name. Shakan.
That's fine.
People, if you're into your sport, Shaq is up and coming. I'm going to point this out to anyone. I'm going to say this before you go. He went into boxing late at 22, right? This guy amateured for 4 years, which brings him to 27. And then he goes into be a professional boxer. Shaq is now 31. And in that time, so it's not a long time. I think you've only been to what, 2017? So 3.5 years?
Yeah,
just about 3 years as a professional boxer. And he's come up through the ranks and already fought. Listen to what I'm saying, folks. He's already fought. He's held the British light heavyweight title, and he's fought, you know, I would say Craig Ridge taken that, but that's neither here nor there. Shakan, thank you. It's a no mean feat. People take years and have never won any British title. Do you understand? And they've been boxing a lot longer than you have been.
Yeah.
So I want to say from me, thank you. I'll be watching your career with enthusiasm, and I'm hoping everyone picks up that nugget. Get behind our British fighters, because there was a comment that was made from the American which really gnawed at me. And they said they don't understand why British fighters even bother to fight. And that really cheesed me off. They said British fighters should stick and fight with their own, because when they come to America, any country, embarrassment. And that straw. And I went onto Twitter and I said to the person, so basically every other fighter in America are winners, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I can categorically state that not every boxer in America is up to scratch. So my message to you is, anyone, get behind your British boxers, and Shakan Pitters is one of them. The future is bright.
There's plenty more to come for myself.
Yes.
Although, like, you know, and I appreciate yourself, you know, pointing out the fact about obviously the British title and so on. I'm always been strict, and I'm always my biggest critic in boxing. I can't help it. So I always plan to want to surpass myself every year. I do want, you know, I do want a world title, and you know, I'll get there by all means. By all means, whatever I got to do, I'll get there. But I know what I've got to do now, and that's it. Just literally just go into straight savage mode, you know, literally. That's what I've got to do.
Well, I'll be there watching. So please keep in touch with me. Please,
100%.
I'll be watching. Let me know what's happening. Anything that I can, you know, put on our website, because every former guest, we've now got a website that every former guest, we have a newsletter that updates that this is what they're now doing and blah, blah, blah. And that's just fairly new. So I'm still in the backlog of all the guests I've had, but just if it'd be so good. I've kept in touch with every single one of the guests that have come on. And I always will keep paying attention and keep pushing and supporting. And I guess the last word is left with you to say bye-bye to everybody, which is take me out.
Fantastic. You know, thanks to yourself having me on the show. I can't, you know, thank you enough. And, you know, it's been good. I enjoyed it. And obviously even the title, the meaning behind it, you know what I mean, standing in my truth. I love the backdrop of that. I love the whole meaning of that. And hopefully, you know, it's opened a few, you know, some of the viewers and everyone else who's going to be watching this back, hopefully it's opened their minds to wanting to channel their energy and what they're good at, because that's the most important message, is obviously getting that message out there that you can do whatever you put your head to. I do strongly believe that, and I hope that everyone just continues to follow my journey. If you already are, like yourself as well, I'm extremely appreciative about it. And just God bless everyone, man, and just keep your wits about you. My inbox is always open for anyone, even if I don't know you. If you feel like you want to chat, you know, I'm someone where if I don't get back to you that day or that week, I will get back to you, because I genuinely do appreciate anyone reaching out to me. So
and he does get back to you.
No, I do.
He really did. I was so surprised that, you know, in your busy schedule that you did. Shakan, you've been inspirational. Again, to people that have just been mentioning it in the chat room. Katrina in Ireland says bravo. Hi Elizabeth. Tony, there's a lot of thumbs up. Again, I will speak to Mark, because I'm sure Mark would really appreciate it, because he's a mentor and he deals with a lot of disenfranchised kids, youths in South London. And this guy has his own talk show as well, which is far bigger than me. You know, my numbers don't even go into, I can only dream to have his numbers of audience. But he tunes in and he supports me, which is the most beautiful thing that I could want. And I'd love to put you two together. And so I'm going to send him your details, and hopefully Mark will reach out to you. And let's spread this energy. And there's a few other boxers that, you know, I'm a big friend of Richard Davis, who's a boxing coach. His father, Don Davis, is a was legendary, still a legendary boxing coach, you know, the 80s, 90s, like your dad.
Yeah.
And so I have that kind of connection. So I still speak to Richard, which I guess I'll be speaking to him after the show. He's going to say, how did you get SHAKAN PITTERS? He sent me a lovely message and said, well done. And I thought, I don't know, I'm still nervous. But
Yeah. You know what it is? We're all human, man. We all
I know, but I really was. So thank you again. Big up. I'm sending lots of kisses to you and the missus and to your family. Tell Dre he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think I didn't get to speak to him after a while. I think somehow the chat room went a bit doolally. But tell him thank you. He sent me a message. Tell him I will reach out to him.
Jay's
you made me blush.
Jay's very outspoken, but
your brother is just too much.
Yeah.
But tell him enough love to him as well. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
And
Have
to you as well.
Get better. I'll keep in touch with you to see how you're going.
100%.
You're off to your training in Dubai next week. Hope, fingers crossed for you.
Yeah.
Please stay safe.
100%.
And thank you for coming on, standing in my truth.
Thank
Speak
you.
to you after. I'm going to take that. I'm going to shut the show down. And if you sit in the green room, I'll come back to you.
No worries. Fine.
Take care, my lovely. Bye bye. I don't need to say anything more positive after the positive show that we've just had with SHAKAN PITTERS. So, you know, it's not just about the sports, it's about the individual, and that's pretty much what the context of my show is. And I'm hoping that you took something from this today. You got to learn about, you know, his boxing capabilities, what he's achieved in the last 4 years, which takes some people 10 to 15 years to even get their head around. He made me feel good. I hope it opened a lot of endomorphins in your brain. And from my window, I can see the sun is shining. So even if you can't go out, step out onto your balcony, step to your front door, walk to the car, walk back, breathe in some air. Because we're not done yet, because we are going to continue standing in our truths. No matter what you're going through on this awesome Saturday, we have to say awesome. No matter the lives that we're losing, or the news that we're hearing, tune out, tune into yourself, stand in your truth. Have a fabulous Saturday, glorious weekend, and let's try and keep it together. I'm a struggler. I am struggling. And if no one can't see that on my face, then hey, but I am struggling. So this cheers me up. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Peace out.